everyone, and welcome to the Leggett World Cup of Wine. So today we've chosen 8 reds and 8 whites from our local supermarket, and we're going to judge which is the best wine. Now, I'm no expert, so I have brought along my colleague and friend Charles Cremai, who runs our Leggett Property Management Company, looking after all the property holiday rentals across France. So he's going to help me and teach me in the best ways to try out these local wines.
Yes, today I will give you a hand to pick the best wine, depending on what you have on the table as well. That's very important, but also depending on what you like.
Thanks, Charles. And obviously in France, the most important thing when you're hosting a dinner party is your selection of wine. So it's very, very important. But the good thing is we have chosen the wines that are around the €10 mark, or some even less. So it's a great opportunity to see what our friend Charles thinks and what we think is the World Cup winner from the 16 bottles that we've chosen. So let the competition begin. We're going to start off with the reds, which Charles, you're going to be doing the tasting on. But one thing I don't know is there a special way to actually open a bottle?
Is there? That's a very good question. I don't think there is one special or one good or bad way to open a bottle. I think sometimes people say, oh, well, you have to go under the neck, okay, or you have to go above the neck. I tend to just do this. And this is the easiest, the quickest, and it's okay. There is no purpose of this, the color, when you drink the wine. It's only to preserve it, okay? So we can start by opening the Beaujolais.
And where's the Beaujolais from, Charles?
Beaujolais, it's a small appellation above Lyon. And then whether you like the sound or not, that's the best.
I do remember in England, a lot of the local areas, they used to have clubs that used to go over for the Beaujolais Nouveau run. They used to be once a year. So is that in September time, or is the first one?
I think it's a bit later. It's after October, once the vendange is done.
Okay. Harvest the grapes.
Harvest, thank you, harvest, yeah. I'm French, so. So we are going to taste the first wine, which is the Beaujolais. And I think this one is just under €6.
Wow. So the first competition is going to be the Beaujolais against the Bergerac. Bergerac is where we have a lot of beautiful properties. It's in the Dordogne, absolutely wonderful area, beautiful countryside. And it's a really nice wine region as well. So we're going to see whether the Bergerac or the Beaujolais, whatever is the best, Charles.
We are going to try the Bergerac. So now the question is, how much do you need to taste? Well, it's really what you normally drink, but a bit less. So the first thing that you want to do is put your nose in the glass. That's what you call the first nose, and that's where you will smell the first scent, and then you will get the second nose, and now is the best time is to taste it. Okay, that's a good one. Now we need to taste the second wine, the Beaujolais. Lovely color.
Very different in color, aren't they?
Very different. This is the Gamay region. Gamay is the grapes. This is how you can sometimes smell if a wine is still good or not, if it's corked or not. You don't need to taste the wine to know if it's corked or if it's okay to drink.
So we need to make a decision on which one is going through to the next round.
I would pick the Bergerac on this one. Bergerac, sorry, without the accent. So the Bergerac, I would pick for this one I would pick the Bergerac. And I just remembered that the Bergerac is, I think, €3.50.
Wow.
And the other one is just under €6.
So that's brilliant value.
So obviously, depending on your tastes, because at the end of the day, it's not whether this one is better than this one, it's what you prefer. I prefer the cheapest one, and in that case, it's the Bergerac.
So, Charles, we're now going to look at our next two reds. We've got one here from the Rhône Valley, the Rhône Valley.
Valley du Rhône.
The Valley du Rhône, and one from Burgundy.
Yes, let's
Bourgogne.
taste it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Burgundy is where the beef bourguignon comes from. Would you use this wine when making beef bourguignon?
Yes, this is the one that you need to use, yes. I want to drink this one.
It's a nice one then.
Yes.
Is that coming out as the favourite then?
I think so.
Gironde.
Yes, definitely red fruits on the Burgundy. Pinot Noir, that's obviously red fruit. And a lot more elegance and freshness in the Gigondas. I go for the Gigondas.
So now, in the same round, we're going to be looking at two other wines.
Yes.
This one is from Lussac-Saint-Emilion, and then this one we're going to be trying is a Chinon, and that is from the Loire Valley.
Val de Loire, yes.
Yeah, the Val de Loire, and loads of beautiful chateaux there, because that's where
Definitely.
most of them were built, because it wasn't so far from Paris. And again, we've got lots of chateaux for sale there. So let's see which one you think is the best out of these two.
Exactly, let's see. We are going to taste the Lussac-Saint-Emilion first. Just enough. Black fruits. That's 100% Merlot, I think. You can definitely taste it. It's full-bodied. Black fruits, it's really good.
We'll have to try that one later then.
Yes. Very different. A lot smoother.
A favourite? Do you have a favourite?
Let me check again, sorry. I'll drink that one. I'll stay on the Lussac-Saint-Emilion.
Lussac-Saint-Emilion, so
Yes.
we should put that in the running. So now for our last two in this round, Charles, we have one here from the Minervois, the Black Mountains, which is a stunning area. It's not too far from Carcassonne, where we have an office as well. Loads of fantastic properties there, and I believe you have rental ones there too.
We have rentals, yes, we do. Lovely rentals, yeah.
Good
lovely
area for that. And then we have Bordeaux, where we've just opened a new office, and we did a lovely tour of Bordeaux video on YouTube if you're interested in finding out more about Bordeaux. And obviously the Cité du Vin is in Bordeaux, where you can taste loads of wines from all across the country.
And learn a lot about the history of wine.
And the history of the grapes and the vineyards, which is really interesting. So let's try these last two.
I'm looking forward to this one. By the way, this that I've put on the bottle is something to give some air to the wine. And I believe this one is going to need some air. I'll tell you what after. So this is going to need some air because it's 15.5%.
Whoa.
Or degrees, I don't know how you say, but it's obviously coming from the soil and the sun that it gets. That's what makes a lot of sugar, so a lot of alcohol. I'm drinking this one. This is lovely. I'm not going to say that I knew from the beginning, but I have a soft spot, you say?
Yeah.
For the Minervois, and I'm going to go for this one for sure.
That would be actually one of the places I'd love to live. If I wasn't living in the Dordogne, I would definitely, it's such a beautiful area.
It is,
really,
it is.
Really pretty.
And they obviously make good wine.
Yeah, very good wine, which is great.
Yes, that's great.
So that's put that one in the running then. Okay, Charles, so now we're down to the semi-final. We have the Bergerac, which is actually a lovely wine, but only €3.50.
Yes.
Against the Girondas from the Rhône Valley at €13. So it'd be interesting to see if price makes a difference or it's just the different types of wine.
Let's see the Gigondas first. Hello again. A lot more spicy, this one.
So do we have a winner?
I would go for the Gigondas.
The Gigondas. So the Gigondas will be going through to the final. So here we are in the last part of our semi-final for our reds. So we have this one, the Minervois region that you've just tasted, and that's just under 10 euros a bottle, against the Lussac in Saint-Emilion, which is around 7 euros a bottle.
Yes, exactly. So let's taste. We'll start with the Lussac Saint-Emilion.
This is going to be a hard choice between these two, I think.
Not so sure. I remember both of them. I love the Lussac, but the Minervois is going to win this one.
Really?
Yes.
Great, so we have another finalist. So we're down to our final two to go through to the final. So we've got the Girondas near the Provence, which is not too far from Avignon, where we actually have an office.
Right.
And then you could travel down from Avignon to the Languedoc-Roussillon, and you would have this beautiful wine
Minervois.
in the Minervois. So again, they're both from the south, which is quite unusual.
Yes.
So if you're looking for a property in the south, you've got two lovely regions here, and it's coming out in the semi-final. So let's see which one is the best.
And I think they are also on the top range of the price as well. Yeah, we'll talk about that just after. So I'm going to taste the Minervois again. For the final, I've got to drink it. Now, the Gigondas. The Gigondas is a lot more complex. I think I would go, let me check again. Okay, so the winner is, I would go for the Minervois.
Brilliant.
The Minervois. And obviously, as we were saying, these two are from the top range price, well, at least on what we bought, obviously not on overall. But I think the Minervois is, the Gigondas is 13.50, I think, and the Minervois is just under 13 or around 13. Anyway, they are both on the same price range. And what it shows really is that if they came up to the final, our final, very humble tasting.
Leggett World Cup final.
Exactly.
Of wine.
Exactly. It's also because it shows that the reason why they are a bit more pricey, above 13, between 10 and between 10 and 15, it shows the work that is put into the barrel, into the harvesting, into everything, into the grapes, and that shows the work that the winemakers are putting into.
And both of these areas have improved in the last few years as well, haven't they?
They've had challenges as well,
Yeah.
with the climate being very, very difficult, and that's what makes the wine a bit more expensive and a bit more complex as well. That's what I was saying with the Gigondas. It has been difficult for us to choose, well, for me actually. But yes, the Minervois is the winner of this Leggett's World Cup of wine. Yes.
On our red, so that's great. So this is our winner, the very lovely Minervois, and obviously the other great thing is these are still really affordable bottles of wine. If you're having a lovely dinner party, this is such a nice wine to put on the table. You know, bearing in mind it's just under 13 euros. Some wines are 3,000 euros a bottle, so very good value.
Not ones that I've tasted.
And I think we got these in Auchan, which is a local supermarket. You can get them in. The great thing about the supermarkets in France as well is that they have a huge selection of French wines. It's not a small selection. They only have small selections of other nationalities' wines, but you can buy any type of French wine in the supermarkets at really good prices, which is great.
And this one, just so you know, the Minervois, this one can go with red meat, with cheese as well, even though, believe it or not, cheese doesn't go always very well with red, but also very good with white. We'll see that just after.
Excellent.
Yes, that you can serve that at 16 degrees approximately. So now let's move forward to the Leggett World Cup of white wine. And now Joanna is going to taste two white wines. First is going to be the Bordeaux, and the second is going to be the Val de Loire. So you can start pouring your wine.
Now this is a little trick I found. I'm not sure the name of those though, Charles.
Drop stops.
Drop stops. So you literally can get these in any sort of wine carves, or in the supermarkets, and a lot of promotional. And you just turn it around like that, pop it in, and you have your own pourer. So let's try, we're trying the Bordeaux. Now, I'm no expert like Charles.
I'm no expert either.
However, I do like a nice wine at a dinner party. It smells very fruity. That's very citrusy.
Okay.
I'll taste that.
You can put this in your film.
Yeah, let's try this one. Another little drop stop.
Another one. Just not to waste any drop of wine.
Yes, and not to get any on the tablecloths. Right, let's try this one. That's it. That smells a lot lighter.
Okay.
That you can definitely taste pear. I can definitely get a flavour of pear.
You can see with the colour that it's
colour.
lighter.
Much lighter.
So which one is your best?
I actually
Your
think I would
favourite?
go for the Bordeaux.
The Bordeaux?
Yeah.
Okay.
A slightly stronger flavour. That's
Very
a little
good.
bit light.
So the Bordeaux is going to the next...
Into the semi-finals.
the semi-finals. Okay, let's move to the next round. Now we have the Sancerre against the Sauvignon from Pays d'Oc. Obviously, Sauvignon is just the grapes, so this is from Pays d'Oc. Let's have a taste.
Okay, so let's start with this one. Very interesting bottle, but let's hope they haven't spent all the money on the bottle and not on the wine.
Well,
Let's try.
We'll know.
Yeah. Get apples from that. Not quite light.
Okay.
Apple taste. Not sure on that one. Let's try the Sancerre, which I do like. A Sancerre. Lovely with fish.
Lovely with cheese as well.
Much stronger flavours already, I can smell.
Okay. You're allowed to drink this one if you want.
Maybe later. Much prefer the Sancerre.
Okay.
It tastes much more, has much more body to it than this. This is extremely light, which is nice if it's a hot day, I presume.
It's probably nice at the apéro.
Yeah.
When you have a...
At the apéro.
Yeah.
And it also is a nice bottle, so you can put a candle in it later. But my favourite is the Sancerre. So let's move on to the next one.
Great. Next round now, we have two new white wines that are, I think, towards the top of our budget, I think. This one is 10 euros, this one is 14 euros, just so you know. The Côte du Jura, this is more obviously to the Jura, and the grapes are Chardonnay. Then you have the Cassis here, and this one is towards Marseille. So now Joanna is going to taste.
So this is the more expensive, lovely area though, all around there.
On the Côte d'Azur, yes.
The Côte d'Azur, the Mediterranean.
See why you need a drop stop. There you go.
Exactly, and I just have spilt a drop. That's quite an unusual one for a white.
What sort of smell do you get?
It's fruity, but it's got a hint of aniseed.
Okay,
I can
that's
taste.
interesting.
Yeah, I haven't tasted one like that. That's a totally different one.
Interesting.
No, let's move on.
Let's try the other one
The Chardonnay
with the drop
grapes.
stop.
This is near the Alps. We have a whole team of people in the Alps as well.
Yes.
Beautiful chalets for sale.
And it's a beautiful region.
Exactly. In the summer as well as in the
anytime,
winter.
yes.
That's lovely. Kind of smoky taste.
Okay, interesting.
This one again. Definitely an oaky taste, like a lot of Chardonnays are, aren't they? So
Right.
in this instance, I would choose the Chardonnay.
Interesting. So we have a winner then.
Yeah.
That's the Côte du Jura. So we now have the final round of the white wines. So now we are going to have a Pouilly Fuissé against the Apremont from Savoie. Now, if you want to taste them, Joanna,
Okay,
this is the last round.
So this one's coming from the sort of Alps region as well.
Yes, Savoie, yes.
The Savoie. Let's try that one first. I've not tried this before. Very light in colour. Now that's unusual. I can't get very much smell from that at all. But it has loads of flavour.
Okay.
It's quite sharp, very fresh.
This is a wine that you usually serve at 10 degrees. It might be a bit warmer now, so yeah, you might get a stronger taste. Why?
Yeah.
This is how it's served.
To give the more flavour coming.
No, actually, normally you would say that the warmer the wine is, the more flavour you get.
Yeah.
But not always the flavour that you want.
Right. Okay.
So the white wine is served normally cold. It's between chilled, yes. It's between 10 and 14 degrees. But some red is served between 15 and 17. So it's not always that much of a difference. Let's taste the other one.
And so this one is at the higher
Puy
end
Fusé.
at €16 a bottle.
Exactly. You can definitely tell the difference between the colour already.
Yes, without a doubt. One's very, very light and the other one's quite full.
Different grapes, different area,
That smells delicious.
different terroir.
Kind of chocolatey as well, without a doubt.
Oh, well, that was very straightforward.
That is absolutely delicious. It's got a kind of creamy flavour. Yeah, no, I really
Puy
did
Fusé is
really
really
like
good.
that. Yeah, so that one
Great.
will go through to
This one is going through the semi-finals,
semi-finals,
and
yes.
now we are going to move to the semi-finals. So now we are at the semi-finals of this World Cup of Wine. So we now have the Bordeaux wine, which is, I think, the cheapest wine of this selection, against the Sancerre. I think this one is €3.50 and this one is €13 or something around that. So let's see if the Bordeaux.
Let's try
Can do
the more
something.
expensive first. I'm not saying I have expensive taste or anything, but
You are. No,
let's have a go. That'd be perfect with oysters
I bet it
from
will,
the
yes.
Maritime.
And now the Bordeaux. Again, another type of colour.
Now, surprisingly, I actually like the Bordeaux.
Great, that's interesting.
Yeah, so even though that's a lot more expensive, and I do like Sancerre, I buy that a lot, this one has actually got a really lovely flavour and it's only €3.50 a bottle. So
That's interesting.
I'm going to put that one through.
Great. So the Bordeaux is going to the final. Okay, now we have the second semi-final, which is the Côte du Jura against the famous Puy Fusé, the vieille vigne of the Puy Fusé. Vieille vigne is old vines.
Right, okay,
Yes.
I didn't know that, and luckily we got our drop stops in.
So you start with the Côte du Jura.
It has a lovely fresh smell. That is actually a really lovely wine. It's got lovely flavours, and it's not expensive, I believe.
No, it's not. I think it's around €4.
Fantastic. So remember these for my barbecues this summer. And then onto the poulet fumé.
Fusé.
Fusé.
It's a different one.
Yeah,
People
poulet
tend
fusé.
to mix it up with Puy Fumé, which
Right.
is it's
A common mistake.
yes, and it's not the same wine at
Right,
all.
okay.
No.
Again.
Again,
It is
it's
the
a
winner.
very obvious
The
one.
poulet
It's the
fusé
winner.
is such, I mean, I know it's expensive, but it's such a delicious taste.
Okay, so we have the Puy Fusé going to
Into
the
the
final
final.
then. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the final of the Leggett's World Cup of white wine this time. So in the final, very interesting final we have. This is the Bordeaux wine, which is around €4, and against, the Puy Fusé. This Bordeaux is 80% Sémillon, and the Puy Fusé is 100% Sauvignon. Chardonnay, sorry. So now Joanna is going to decide which one is winning, is the winner.
But the interesting thing is out of 8 bottles of wine, we've got one at the lower end and one at the high end. So,
Exactly.
you know, it's all in the taste.
Exactly, it is.
Let's try the Bordeaux again. I must say, I really do like that one.
You're allowed to taste again. Just to make sure.
Now, that's quite a hard choice. I would say that for summer drinking, barbecues, parties with friends in the garden, apéros, this is a lovely wine.
Okay.
This is a beautiful wine.
It's more complex.
It's more complex and fantastic for dinner parties.
Okay.
So I would go with the Poulet Fusé.
Because
as
we
the
need
winning
a winner.
wine. Yes.
That's the winner. Great. So no drum rolls, but so straight that
Yeah.
you know that's this the winner. The Puy Fusé is now the winner of the Leggett's World Cup of white wine.
Well, that's the end of our Leggett World Cup of Wine. Thank you, Charles, for
Thank
all
you.
your help and education. So we have our winner, which I chose, which is the Poulet Fusé, and we have our red that you chose, which is from
The Minervois.
the Minervois.
Yes.
So let us know what you think. Drop your comments below. Do go and try some of these wonderful wines. And again, we will be doing a lovely article in the next Leggett magazine that comes out this summer. So do look out for that, and you can read up about all the lovely wines that we've chosen today. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you soon.